Hello, bonus content tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Diablo with me, Blue Ankylo. Today, we're gonna go finally help out that poor farmer who's been complaining since the beginning of our game about some bugs eating his cows or something. So, something like that anyway. He asked us to blow up this thing, and it just turned into something else.
We have long lain dormant, and the time to awaken has come. After our long sleep, we are filled with great hunger. Soon now we shall feed.
Alright. Sounds good. So welcome to the nest. This is the hellfire new dungeon, basically. So we'll see new enemies and a new dungeon. Now, you know, some people critique hellfire expansion for reusing assets and saying this area is very similar to a different area that we've already been to, but I mean, it doesn't look very similar to me. Also, completely new enemies that aren't even in Diablo. We got some scorpions now. Now, what was I gonna say? This area's level should be... Oh, good. More magic damage at range. This area should have a similar level to the caves. So we were just in hell recently. Last episode even. Oops, that's not the spell I wanted. So last episode we went, you know, through the normal dungeon to hell. This dungeon should be a little bit easier than that. So although I didn't clear out level 13, we just went down there and had a look at things, got a little bit of armor and stuff. We're just barely strong enough to handle hell in the regular dungeon. So hopefully going through here first, a little bit lower level enemies, a little bit less dense monsters. It'll give us a chance to power up a little bit more before we go down to regular hell. We might not get a lot of level ups because the experience gain down here is going to be a bit lower than where we just were. But, you know, we still get, you know, they're still dropping plate mail, clearly. So we have the chance of getting good gear. It just comes down to the random numbers, but with some luck, we could get everything we hope and dream for. Namely, some sort of resist all effect. I don't want to go down to level 2 just yet, but, you know, we found the way down. That's good. Oh yeah, those guys are pretty annoying if you're playing a mage too. There's quite a lot of enemies that are either straight up immune to some of your spells or highly resistant to them. It's definitely nice playing as a rogue to have a ranged physical attack, because like the warrior's weakness is that he can't really deal with long range enemies very well. He has to chase them down, and they tend to scatter and run away and keep kiting him, damaging him at long range. The mage, on the other hand, can deal with that, but has to balance status protections or elemental protections. So you can't just stick to one spell and kill everything at range, because they're going to sometimes take 0 damage from your fireball or your lightning spell. I seem a little OP. Well, I seem a little OP for everything that's not hell, really. After surviving the first layer of hell, we should feel a little bit strong. But, you know, we're still getting really good drops. So, enjoy that dexterity. I mean, as long as we're getting stuff like that, I'll full clear this place. Thanks, disarm trap. Failed me again. I think that disarm skill is the worst. It's not to say that the rogue's ability to detect traps is bad. It's just the disarming of it doesn't seem to work. Because that's like 4 or 5 traps in a row that have not been disarmed. But yeah, the difficulty of this level should be about the same as level 9, the first level of the caves. Because this area would have opened up at floor 9, basically. As soon as we got to the caves, we could have come down here. So we went from level 13 to level 9, basically. And, you know, with enemy variety, we had a bit of a difficult time in the caves because there was a lot of... Well, there's those acid spitters and stuff, and they're pretty annoying. Like, it just depends on what enemies you run into. Those psycho orbs, or whatever we're calling them, they're not doing too bad. Not as bad as acid spitters, anyway. Acid spitters were just the worst. And then there's a lot of melee enemies, like whatever these guys are, the boars. You know, with no lightning monsters and no acid spitters, yeah, this is pretty chill. But that doesn't mean it'll stay chill. And also, I mean, like I was saying, if you're playing, you know, with a mage or something, it might be a lot more difficult. If you didn't have melee damage or physical damage, these enemies could be very resistant to magic. Well, okay, I think the hellboars would always be easy. I think the hellboars are probably one of the easiest enemies in this area, because they're slow, they've got no resistances, no range. Yeah, there you go. Can't just let them smack you around, Blue. Don't let them smack you around. I would say the Psycho Orbs aren't much easier than the lightning demons we had in the other area. It's just they might come in smaller groups. They're doing less damage than the witches did, of course, but the succubi. All right, let's try again. That one made some weird sounds. I think it drained my MP or something. Well, my MP was pretty low ahead of time, but I'm not 100% confident that we disarmed that trap. Ooh, that's a cool looking shield. And another battle bow, so it could be really good. It just depends on the enchantment. I like getting those drops. Heck, even a bow with like some resistances on it or something might be worth switching to against certain enemies in hell. Something was there, whatever. Alright. Also, one of the nice things, of course, doing kind of easier levels is it takes less time, so we can move through at a better pace. Nice to have an entire floor cleared in like 5 minutes. Maybe 6 minutes. Staff of Healing, not worth it at this point. We already know that Staff of Healing is worth like 100 gold. Alright, well, let's keep going. Level 2. They're very disgusting barrels down here. But I really like the look of this area. It's really creepy. Very alien looking. Okay, we can go down to level 3. Alright, new enemies. Hork spawns. Lots of melee enemies. I like this. Making my job nice and easy, game. Maybe you can only disarm from adjacent. Like, maybe I've been clicking long way away and it doesn't actually work. Because you start moving and maybe it cancels the disarm ability or something. Maybe I've just been doing it wrong. Well, I'll agree. Against this enemy formation, we feel pretty overpowered. Just one shot and everything. Yep. Machine gun archer. Pretty fun. Highly recommended, honestly. And I'm a kind of guy that generally doesn't play. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the series, but I generally don't have a whole lot of respect for range classes, you know? a lot of games balance ranged classes to be a lot weaker than melee classes, because attacking at range is such a powerful tactical skill. So they really nerf the attack power or the survivability down so that it makes it, you know, balanced, but also makes it sometimes overbalanced to the point where it's too weak, I guess. It seems like a lot of games do that, where they make the archers just super fragile or kind of low damage because, you know, you can attack at ranged compared to the other classes. But this one, this feels good. Blacksmith oil. That's just a repair. Oh, I guess I should drink up some potions. Wasting. It's pretty frustrating when you're only getting a quarter of your mana per mana potion. We should probably buy like full mana potions too now, seeing as we can afford them. You know, instead of having to use 4.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, you can. You just don't understand how to sort. This is why it's actually a Might Magic 6 playthrough. We're doing all the inventory management, just like Might Magic 6. Sure. I mean, they definitely hit pretty hard if you let them, if you let them get close. We've just been pretty effective. The numbers of enemies have been relatively small here. We haven't hit a really big pack yet. So it's been pretty easy to just DPS them down before they can do anything. Also, they're pretty fragile. How much is that? Heal spells back up to 26 mana, yeah. We'd have to go farm some more mana books if we want to make that more useful. And, you know, I put all those points into the search spell. I barely ever even cast it. I guess stingers are kind of like some of the early game enemies. I forget what they were called, but there was kind of a smaller kind of demon.
I have no room.
Back at the beginning. We actually are out of inventory space. Well, we almost managed to clear 2 full levels of the dungeon and not run out of inventory, so I'd say that's pretty good. Man, this is great. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Another thing reminds me of Might Magic 6 is, you know, spamming archers at long range. This is hasted archers up here. The fire ray's getting crazy. Okay, so I should probably not lose that kite shield. Nothing else I want to drop. Alright, well, let's go get some IDs. It's been a pretty chill dungeon so far. Might have been nice to actually do that a little bit earlier, to be honest. Just given how simple it's been so far.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Okay. Fire resistant plus 50 shield. Healthy bow. Powerful bow. Oh, you know, I carried around this unenchanted plate. That's kind of funny. Lightning resistant amulet. Not really needed. Magic resistance ring. I mean, I hate trying to equip single element resistant items because there's so few total slots. Like, you can do it, it's just You need like a full set, and then you just switch it out between every dungeon depending on what element you're up against, you know. But 35% magic would make those snow witches a lot less dangerous, so I'll keep it, I guess. I don't think there's anything in the last couple dungeons that does fire or lightning damage. There's fireball wizards, there's magic damage succubi. I don't think anything does lightning. Well, keep it anyway, I guess. Could be making money, but I'll just sell it. I'll just keep it for later.
Whoa, what can I do for
Until
you?
I find something that gives me like resist all, then I'll sell them all. That's not worth enough. Not worth enough. It's a pretty cool shield. Unfortunately, we're not shield users. Checking for new gear. This is probably all the same stuff as last time. And you know, we got enough money for 3 more.
What ails you, my friend?
I would say a lot of my current goal doing this bonus dungeon, but doing this sort of side dungeon, is to give us a chance to increase our strength to the point where
What ails you, my friend?
we'll be able to actually equip armor. So, although we might not have got a lot of good gear, that's another 3 points in strength. Oh, well, speaking of that, apparently our strength cap is only 55. That's lower than I was hoping. Alright, well, it's capped. So we're going to need some accessories, or we're going to need something to buff that up. Like, we're going to need enchantments to get us the rest of the way for sure. That's... I think the sorcerer has like a 45 or 50 strength cap. This is not much higher. I thought it would be a fair bit more. Oh yeah, every class has a different cap for each attribute, yeah. One of the reasons, you know, the wizard is so good is you can get your mana so high, your magic. Each class has one stat they can get to like 250, and then the other ones are much lower. Oh, I think I did everything on this floor. Hopefully I didn't forget to pick something up, but whatever, it's fine.
These lands shall be defiled, and our brood shall overrun the fields that men call home. Our tendrils shall envelop this world, and we will feast on the flesh of its denizens. Man shall become our chattel and sustenance.
Luckily, we're a woman. And of course, this was like a non-canonical expansion dungeon that, you know, I think Blizzard tried to forget about. Alright. Whoa! I don't know what element they're doing, but that's some damage. Alright. By the way, we could still die pretty quick. I think our healing spell is just a waste of MP, really. Well, everything that doesn't do ranged magic damage, or of some sort, is pretty easy. Also, like, the Snow Witches took, like, 3 or 4 arrows each to die. The, whatever those were, they only took, like, 1, so... Although the DPS was similar, their tankiness was much less. Oof, all right. The AI can't handle corners. Alright, we're fine, we're fine. Just a little scary. Oh, by the way, that's probably a boss. Let's get some distance here. Kill him! Well, that was easy. If you can't do ranged magic damage, you guys are totally weak. Stupid Hork Demon. Alright, well, I'll take another amulet. Yeah, we probably should have done this dungeon earlier. This was much easier than going to hell or even some of the later caves. I'm pretty sure, like, enemy level wise, it's the same level as the caves levels. It's just, for whatever reason, the enemies are super fragile down here. Well, these guys are new. Lash worms. Yeah, it did unlock right after the catacombs. It's supposed to be the same level as the caves. I know it's not supposed to be as hard as hell, and the problem is just it's hard to do them in parallel because there's no shortcuts in here. There's no shortcuts back out of here to town, so you have to use your town portal. So you kind of have an option of going through here all the way to the end of here, or all the way to the end of the caves. It's kind of one or the other. So you either do this first and it's a bit harder, or I guess you do the other one first and it's a bit harder. Because, you know, we got the levels on our side. Well, speaking of levels, I hadn't really mentioned this before, but or maybe I mentioned it a little bit, but I was planning on talking about it more as we got to the level caps, or like stat caps. So Diablo has a mechanic. It's not explained very well anywhere I've seen, so I don't know the details. But it is a thing where your damage formulas are not tied strictly to your stats, your attributes. So probably the easiest way to think about it is a rogue with maximum strength and maximum dexterity, which is for her probably 255 or something, at level 20 will do less damage than the same rogue with the same weapons, the same stats exactly, but level 30. So just getting those levels up does apply bonus damage to the formula. Of course you get more HP or health and mana by level ups, but you also get extra, I don't know what you call it, but the damage formula takes your level into account is what I'm trying to say. And the way I remember it is pretty significant, actually. Like, it's a pretty big difference. In Diablo 2, some of that... Oh, boy. Yeah, even the melee enemies, they do a lot of damage. We just typically kill them quick. Even in Diablo 2, there is the same kind of mechanic. It's included in, for instance, your defense rating or your attack rating, where there's a contested check for accuracy based on... it says your attack rating and defense rating, which are based on your like dexterity and stuff. But in practice, your level makes a really big difference as well as the enemy's level. But we don't have the same accuracy formula here. And honestly, from what I've heard, I think the experts generally consider the melee ranged attack defense formula for Diablo 2 to be kind of broken anyway. Like it's not the best system to replace Diablo 1 system, sadly. It doesn't scale very well, basically, your chance to hit. That's why, if you're ever looking at Diablo 2 builds, most of them revolve around some sort of magic attack or ability that always hits. There's no chance to miss. It just scales damage based on your level or your magic skill or whatever synergies you get, and you focus on that. You just ignore your dexterity entirely, unless you need it to equip something. I guess that's one of the reasons I like Diablo 1 still quite a lot, because I think the attributes are a little bit more valuable in this game than in Diablo 2. Because in Diablo 2, if you ever watch a speedrun or any kind of typical kind of, you know, build for your character. It's almost always just put everything into vitality. Why? Just so you've got the most HP when you get to hell difficulty, because you need 5,000, well, you need like a 1,000 or 2,000 health to survive a hit from anything on hell. So your strength and your dexterity are just for gear, and everything else is drink mana potions and ignore the rest of your stats. And I kind of think that's a downgrade. Kind of like a not to rag on Diablo 2, but I like having all the stats make a difference. Oh, good, fire damage. I'm not wearing my fire armor right now, but good to know. Torchance, pretty good name. They might even be able to survive an arrow sometimes. Takes 2 shots to kill them. Oh no. Let's ID the shield. Shield of the Tiger. Nice. It's the Shield of the Tiger. Okay, let's hold on. A little bit too aggressive there. At least the torch ants, like, their magic damage, their range damage, definitely not as bad as even the snow witches in hell. Like, probably not even as bad as the psycho orbs on the last floor. Really, like. Maybe the torch ants come in larger groups or something, but of course now they're spider lords. I don't, you know, if you're scared of spiders, maybe don't look. Yeah, I don't mind these guys. I think they might even fire a little bit slower than the succubi. Looks like the Spider Lords, yeah, they got a ranged attack. Get off me! Bad spiders.
Mana.
Thought I heard a couple drops, but what's up here? Oh, just some money? Nice. Well, we did find one ring. Maybe I should have ID'd the ring. That probably would have been smarter. I ID'd the shield, but I ignored the things that might actually be equipable and useful. What did he drop? Another scroll. Scroll of Gollum. Blacksmith oil, just repairing. I mean, I guess I should probably use them on my bow because it's so expensive to repair. 20% recovery is probably saving me like, well, maybe 500 or 1,000 gold, maybe. I don't know. Rather than just throwing them away. Alright. Okay, these guys are a bit rude. A little bit aggressive spiders, you know. I forgot about this one. Man, I got a lot of blacksmith oil there. Well, good for the bow. It's all oiled up, just like its predecessor. Rip stream? Not on my end. Oh, actually, frames are dropping. What's going on? All right, hold on, future tubers. I'm gonna put a cut in the episode here because my streaming has apparently fallen apart. Be back in a sec.